Being hunted doesn't mean that he wants to like join us and fight them.
No.
He might just want to run away and hide.
The same situation sort of with the drow. Could end in the same way.
I mean, at this point, does it matter if there's one more person out there who knows everything about us?
Well, looks, I would rather have fewer, actually.
Once the information is out there, does it matter if it's the second who knows it? In the end, it's still out there.
Well, one person might tell other people and then another one would. It spreads quicker.
What would you do if we let you go?
I would leave Dragonhall and pursue continuing to put the spirits of vengeful undead to rest and ensuring their proper burial, at least so that their souls can have peace. Once their souls are gone, their bodies are empty.
And the undead you employed here?
Employed?
Used? Created?
Necromancers raise undead. It does not harm the spirit that has already gone to rest.
Right.
Skeletons and zombies can't feel. Spectres, they can. Few people are equipped to handle undead plaguing villages and towns, or in this case, what I was doing. So, it is my role. Or was my role. Until now. But I would try to make it my role. If you let me go. Which was your question? I would probably die to an assassin. Not immune to poison. Can see everything. Skeletons can be easily tricked. Wouldn't be the first individual to die to the Black Fang.
Fargus frowns. I don't know.
He's still being honest?
Indications, from what you can tell, have not changed. Same reading.
Alright.
For everyone.
He's still gonna be raising undead though. I'm not quite okay with that.
Oh, please. Don't you even try to get all arrogant on me. So judgmental of beings who do make a positive impact on the world.
Is that what you think you're doing when you're raising undead?
As a matter of fact, not all necromancers are inherently evil.
Yes, I know that. They might not be evil, but that doesn't make the act good.
There's no morality that has to be defined to it. It is valueless, except for what you associate with it. I see no good nor evil, neither good nor evil in it.
The same, I suppose, can be said about killing.
The skeletons are like elementals, which I'm sure you're familiar. Wizards summon to them all the time.
Perhaps something I should learn at some point. Seem rather useful. Don't stay around for as long.
Skeletons and zombies are tools to prevent a needless expenditure of blood.
You must agree, Fargus, that it's mostly the intelligent ones, the malevolent undead, who do what they do for evil reasons. Wish to outstay their welcome in the world. Yes?
That is true, but still, it's not natural.
Nothing about the Dragon Empire is natural today.
That's good. Nature is heartless, cruel, unjust. There's no good to be found there, only constant fight to survive.
Just because you have had bad experiences doesn't mean it's all bad.
And it's hard to say sometimes that is civilization any better.
But it
Just
certainly
because
is
you've
not
only
any
known
worse.
one way. You've always only known one way of living. So it's quite hard for you to understand.
Tried more ways, but then everyone I knew there was killed by someone who disagreed the way we were living.
But you weren't really trying to live with nature, were you?
Tried
You
to
were
live in a
just
forest.
You were just living the way you always have, just in a different place.
Not quite.
Well, I can't
I was
really say.
tired. Looks to the man on the bed. Looks away, suddenly caring less about this whole thing. So you do what you do and perceive it as being for the good of the world, yes? You remove undead threats that would otherwise just roam around and harm the world.
No, I'm a mercenary who attempts to justify his actions by saying that they help the world. I think I could choose worse lines of work, and they do provide some benefit. But mostly I'm just trying to survive.
Is that honest?
Same reading as before.
Alright, yeah, he's being honest. Alright, well,
Well, just because it's honest doesn't mean it's right.
no, most certainly doesn't. And it just means that he doesn't see himself as a positive in the world, so why should we?
But he's wrong. Rav didn't see himself as a positive force in the world either, and you fucking loved him.
At least,
Ravinger was like a
he was
bloodthirsty
genuine.
heart, and this guy's not genuine. From every indication you've gotten, he's genuine.
Yeah, but he keeps confusing me with words.
You are the most intelligent member of this party.
If it was math, it would be easy. Conversation.
I don't want to hear it, Dwohurim, Harsca.
Write it down.
He can't write.
No. As always, your Huru looked to Thomas for the judgment, and to Fargus, because those two seem to be the ones with the strong opinions.
Fargus seems unsure. But we all let one person go, and that led to bad things.
Did letting him go, was that bad or good?
Oh, shit! I'm sorry, I'm sorry. That was just...
He did show us that way out.
That was my first reaction.
That is true. And hence why I'm not sure.
What would you pose as the alternative, Fargus?
Well, not letting him go, obviously.
Well, what would you plan to do? You can't
Kill him.
Cold blood like this?
Can we not spill more blood?
I would prefer it that way too. But
Thought you liked life.
well,
Preservation of it.
killing him might save others. I'm not really sure of his intentions later in life.
Well, killing ourselves would most likely save others. Who's to say what's better?
Yes.
You certainly have killed many more than we are.
That might have saved a lot of lives as well.
Might.
One never knows.
Except when you have the choice. Yes. To take or not to take life.
Exactly. The question is, will it save more than one life?
We're sure that it will save one.
If we let him go, the only people who are potentially going to be in some real danger is us, and we already are in danger. Besides, I'm willing to take that risk if it means, well, not doing things just because I'm scared.
It is also unlikely that he can find allies as ready to help him kill us again as that specter and those, well, beings he can probably make again. The demon attack as well.
Yeah, I'm not claiming responsibility for that. I have no affiliation with whoever came in the door after you.
I didn't think you did.
Seems like our assassinations. We just be praise us lucky that they don't organize themselves with one another. And whatever the whole city coming down over our ears.
I think you might need to be quiet here. I might get the feeling that may be coming up next, especially as each time she's appeared, she seems to quickly leave as soon as she's appeared every time. Especially after you seem to smash her head. Surely there's only so many times you can give a concussion before they stop getting up.
I've come
pretty
to
determined.
the personal opinion that I would somewhat agree with Thomas. It is foolish to take these prisoners and to let them go, but
Perhaps
at
it's
some
the best
point,
option anyway.
seeing what this city is, I suppose, is giving me a greater perspective. This city is brutal, it is monstrous, it is cruel. Just like the wild nature of it that these Draco Druids channel. And I do not like it. I do not agree with it, and I suppose I should say that I will rise above this natural instinct to protect myself by violence, and instead allow some compassion, if you can call it that, mercy, civilized terms to come into play.
Do you intend to remain here in Dragonhall? If you plan on leaving as I do, then I could not inform anyone about your location. I wouldn't know where you would be.
Well, seems like you're being honest, but we can't really know for sure.
He seems honest enough. Most of the others.
It's not a matter of honesty. If you leave and I don't know where you're going, then I can't tell anyone where you are. You don't have to believe me or not.
It's true, but would you want to tell anyone anyway?
After the quite considerable beating I suffered, I don't think I'm interested in associating with you on a hostile level. In fact, if you were actually leaving Dragonhall, I would endeavor to offer my assistance, so long as you told me what actually happened with Bree Melkor.
I might as well tell you that story anyway. So it looks at the others listening for someone to object.
Tempus will lean back in his chair. That is an offer that, especially if we are being hunted, we've made a name for ourselves. We might need to get away for a while, let the heat die down.
It won't. This weather won't get better. And the age won't be closer to not ending. Or to ending in a peaceful manner. You know that, Tempus. We can't leave, because if we do, then no one will fight.
The weather won't get better. You think this weather is tied to the Four?
Everything we've found certainly indicates it.
To pause, then... And then,
Do you have another thought?
And then he'll just utter, like, the equivalent word of the Dragon Empire for fuck. As he considers what Dwohurim just said.
No.
It says, if we leave, then no one else will continue the fight. Then good and life will have lost, and rage and destruction will have won. The age will end in a spectacular explosion. If we hide in some mountain hall of my kind, we might well survive that, at least until the Orc Lord attacks. And, well, we will get to live in the great lifetime of seeing the age of good die, and the age of rampage be born as the seas roil up, breaking the spells and the chains cast upon them. Iron Sea breaking the wall. The wards of the Archmage and perhaps the Icon is stopping to exist altogether. Because I don't know that I could go with the current state without having something else to follow to help this situation. And if we had such a thing, I do not think it would be safer than staying here. Whatever it might be we find is most likely going to be more dangerous than what we're doing here.
Roll me a d20, Manaki. I'll handle handling modifiers. Just give me a d20.
You want it secret?
No, just roll it out in the open. Okay.
He shakes his head slightly. Move within Dragonhall. That might be possible. Can take this place to a different location entirely.
The question is though, will we be able to do any good here if we're hunted so badly?
Well,
We have a choice but to try.
I remind you that the influence of the 3, or 4, or whatever, however many there are, is imprinted over the Dragon Empire. But here, you face Imperial wrath because this city is officially governed by the Blue. And if you're acting against the Blue, then you're acting against the Dragon Empire. And she has every resource and power she can possibly expend to kill you if she so wished. You have earned the personal enmity of the Black Fang. I can't think of anyone I know who's done that and lived.
We might be able to fight the 4 in other ways, in other places.
What do you suggest?
Well, they certainly have agents in Newport, for instance. That's one thing you could do.
It's true.
And if it's true that the 4 have made affiliations with the creatures in the sea to the east, don't remember the name.
Iron Sea.
Yeah, the Iron Sea. Then might be able to do some good over there as well.
It's true, while here, potentially we can try and help. One thing to, of course, remember is we are behind the enemy lines, and it will... How much can we do here immediately, going head on?
Yes, and staying here and dying won't accomplish anything.
Cutting off the tail end of their project might be an easier way, but...
I suppose you're right. To some degree, we have to be logical about this. I'm sorry, it's just these last weeks, these months. I'm getting rather emotional about this whole situation. You're of course right. We are, much as I would wish it, not able to challenge the Blue outright.
No, not now in any case.
With the information they have, it might be difficult. So it looks to Thomas. And from some solace in the mostly optimistic man.
You there, Sheep?
Yeah, I don't know.
Alright, I was just making sure.
It looks we could at least untie him.
Fargus looks to the others and
Seems savage. Just leave him there.
goes and unties him.
He does not resist your attempts to unbind him.
Here, we'll take a glass. Would you prefer to just stay laying down? You seem rather wounded. Yes.
Well, if my captors wish for me to stand and move, I think I can do so.
Do as you
There's an offer to
wish.
come and sit, have a glass, if you wish.
Just don't leave this room for now.
There is a hiss of pain as the heavily wounded man sits up and gingerly rolls his legs out of the bed.
You can stay there. We can bring a glass to you.
I've felt worse. Really. As long as it doesn't involve the axe.
Holds out a glass.
The man takes it with a gloved hand. Sort of like, he looks at it, contemplates, and slides the mask up, revealing his heavily wounded face.
Grim tries not to look away, since he was kind of prepared for the look. It happens. Besides, he's seen worse things at this point. He's melted a lot of people. Acid and lightning and all
He
that.
sure has. Which, how does Dwohurim feel about having had used acid on this guy?
You know, he was about to press Fargus's organs out through his orifices. So,
I thought that attitude. The deaf speaker will twist the chair here and sit down to Dwohurim's left.
he will drink deep as he's caught looking at it, contemplating, looking at his hands. It just seems like there's so much the world needs us to do, and we are so few who care enough to try.
Yes.
Well, from my understanding of how the Dragon Empire works, if you're looking for more people to convince of this plight that you seem sure will happen, you won't find those people here. Not in the Mistress of Sorcery City. No succor here, just waves of hunters, who will undoubtedly pursue you through the Little Dragon Hall guilds across the rest of the Dragon Empire, but at least you'd be away from this city. It changes you, affects you, in ways that are inexplicable. It's all of the chaos rolling in from the Iron Sea, fueling the blue.
If only we could cut that off in some way.
To
We might
that-
not be strong enough.
For that, you would somehow have to put the Iron Sea at peace, which I think means you would have to remove the enchantments on the Midland Sea. But
So she actually says,
my understanding of how the process goes, I might be incorrect on that, is the Iron Sea is so angry because the Midland Sea is so calm. When the first Emperor imposed his will upon the Midland Sea, it shunted out all of nature, and he looks over at Fargus,
Nods.
out of the land into the Iron Sea, where all the Sahagwin and underwater creatures fester and wrath, and nature, it yearns to surge free, and so it fights so desperately to retain control. Or rather, regain it.
and it seems that both the Four, the High Druid, the Orc Lord, Diabolists, all want this to end in one roiling cascade of destruction.
I don't imagine they're all on the same page. I imagine they all have their own agendas. Otherwise, the the red, from memory serves, wouldn't have burned all of those demons who escaped from the abyss before the Great Gold Worm plugged it. Hence the red waste.
They might certainly have different ideas of who should rule that heap of destruction when it's all done. We could return to Newport, I suppose.
Would be good to
Do you
tell.
know of news from that direction? They said that there was an explosion at the Arcane College.
I heard the same thing. He shrugs. I have been in Drakenhall for some time.
I hope it's not true. Although I fear it is.
Considering the agents of the Archmage and Blue fight each other perpetually everywhere, it wouldn't surprise me if the four, or at least the Blue, were behind an explosion, if it occurred. After all, the Archmage has been rather vocal about his opposition towards the Blue.
For good reason, obviously. Beyond that, I am more thinking that a certain artifact we recovered from a living dungeon might have been attempted to use in order to bring an end to this cold, as we originally tried to do. But it might have failed.
Yes. Seems like it did. It would be good to tell that agent of the Archmage our what we have done here as well. Since he didn't have any agents here left.
Yes. I sent him a letter.
Oh.
Telling him a slight bit of what was going on, trying not to have too many specifics. We could return there incredibly fast, you all know.
We certainly could.
Snaps his fingers. We could be there.
You do know that we'd be leaving this place? Our
There's no, we will not.
colleagues? Our boat?
Dwohurim does recall that his amulet cannot transport all of his friends. Like, it was enough to cover the rest of the party.
Looks to... that is true. Perhaps taking the boat would be better then. Or a boat, if nothing else.
Yes,
I'm
and that
bigger.
artifact.
Perhaps a bigger boat.
That artifact might be good in the future as well.
You have any sailors to crew the boat?
Imagine we could hire some.
You could. I could resolve the issue.
How so?
I am able to impart some skills onto the skeletons I raise. They could direct the boat.
Tempus can't help but laugh.
I do worry wherever we arrive, the moment people start checking the boat and seeing a skeleton crew, quite literally.
Skeleton's perfectly acceptable crew in the Dragon Empire. There's no Archmage law against it, as long as you stay within certain parameters, that is.
The Death Speaker will nod, for after all, it is not an official violation of Imperial law to be a necromancer and raise undead.
Certainly, if we all might consider that many agents dabble in this sort of thing at some point, one point or another. For fixing in on whether unseen servants fit their desires more.
I understand, however, that you might prefer a living crew you have to feed and worry might run or attempt to pilot the ship somewhere else or be serving the Black Fang or what have you. Just an offer.
We could also hire them easily without expending more resource than we already have. And it's a good offer.
It is a good offer, yes.
We are all being hunted, and we do have same sort of goals. We now, at least from our visit here, know how bad things are. Nothing else, Dragonhorn has taught us that. Perhaps given us a drive to keep on. I certainly could not imagine laying this issue to rest.